one and all present here. I am Pallavi P., a member of YUCI. United youth will unite nation. The power of youth is the commonwealth for the entire world. The faces of young people are the faces of our past, our present, and our future. No segment in the society can match with the power, idealism, enthusiasm, and courage of the young people. Youth United Council of India is a youth-run organization with central team of passionate and zealous young
Recording
individuals
in progress.
driven to bring about change. YUCI acts as a unique platform for youth that aids and empowers them through various programs and opportunities. YUCI aims to tackle all issues that hamper the growth and development of young individuals by bringing a wholesome solution. We are dedicated to strengthen the youth community and help them achieve success in sustainable development. YUCI is not restricted to organizing lectures and seminars or activism through social media. We want to empower youth through effective action and aid them to become an important part of the society. Well, jumping right back into our topic, focusing on mindset, mindful living, and neuroscience. Ms. Esther Induka is a growth catalyst change maker who believes in transformation coaching. Did I say transformation coaching? Well, I'll explain. It involves empowering people, bettering themselves, and changing from how they act to how they see themselves. This might involve changing their self-image or perceptions about themselves and their limitations. Well, life is all about constantly making new ways. Different hurdles means different ways to tackle them. While change is the only constant which we will ever be, changing ourselves, our approach, and our belief system is one of the most difficult and uncomfortable aspects which we have to constantly face. And yet, it is a fact that when we change the approach, we see immediate and tremendous breakthroughs, make new ways. That is an initiative of the Indian Board of Mind and Life Transformations. They are a venture of transformation coaching and work on bringing in breakthroughs by using NLP techniques for all ages. They hope to see all of us having and living a happier, healthier, and a more fulfilled life by plugging in the gaps which our conventional education system fails to do. Well, neuroscience is important, she says. But how? Let's find out. The renowned speaker is here to enlighten us on the nuances of the human mind. With much privilege, I welcome Ms. Esther Indulkar. The stage is yours, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pallavi. Thank you for introducing that so well. I'm super excited to be here, and thank you so much, everybody who's watching. Thank you so much for joining us today. And yes, change is the only constant. That's how Pallavi describes it. Change is the necessity of this very world to flourish, but we have to know how to make that change happen in our lives. And that's what we do at Make New Ways. So thank you for putting that so beautifully, Pallavi. And I'm hoping that today's session is going to enlighten everyone who's listening. Their thoughts may be enlightened, and that can help them to be better every day. And that's the only way to progress every single day. So for everybody who's listening, as Pallavi said, I am Esther, and I am a mindset transformation coach and a neuro-linguistic programming called as NLP Master Trainer. So what do? I work with individuals to help them get a clarity and a purposeful driven life. Everybody is living a life because it has been given. Are we living purposeful lives? Are we making the choices that we need to in this life to make and fulfill our dreams? Because 90% of our world population gives up on their dreams because they do not know how to create clarity from chaos. So, by making the most of our biggest strength, that is our mindset and our thinking, we work on using NLP, mindfulness, and other mindset training techniques to create that breakthrough in our lives. Because every one of us, when we are born, I think all of us have the same capabilities, but it is the experiences that makes the big change in our life. So today, based on the work that I do with the youth, I'm going to share with you why is our mindset our biggest strength and how important it is for us to learn to create the right mindset if at all we want to live a more fulfilled and a more happy life. So let's get on to today's topic. I will be talking to you about how you can develop mastery over your mindset. How can you create a life of success, fulfillment, and achievement by using your mindset correctly? But before that, why do you think we need to master our mindset? For creating success, we are wanting to achieve in life needs to be understood why that mindset mastery is required. So let's get right into it without taking any more time. So before I share the insights about mindset, let me start by asking you a quick question. Now, whoever is listening, think back and tell me, especially the youth, have you faced situations in your life where you wanted to do something, but every time when you tried or every time when you gave it a thought, you came up with responses, maybe like, it is not for me, or maybe it will not work out for me, or maybe you don't have the right skills to do it. Or maybe a thought came to your mind, oh no, simply just because for some reason you don't want to do that at all. Or maybe think about something, a time when maybe you were aiming for a particular company to be placed in, if you're a youth, and you are actually aiming for a particular company to be placed in only, not much higher ones. Maybe because you think that that thing is too big to crack. Has it happened to all of us? It has happened to me when I did my MBA. It has happened to each one of us. So the ones who are going through this, it's not your problem, it's the world's problem. It happens to most of us. The question is, why do you think it's like that? We have to get clarity on that. And why does this happen is because we are benchmarking our goals based on what we believe are our incapabilities or what we believe our capabilities are, isn't it? So if I think that XYZ company is too high and too big and I won't be able, its interview is going to be very difficult, or maybe the entrance is going to be very difficult, many a times we just skip giving the entrance or the interview only because we benchmark our goals based on whatever we think we are capable of. And that is why, because of the mindset that we carry about our capabilities, we move in our life. It is because of our beliefs that we hold about what we can do and what we cannot do that we hold ourselves. Too big a dream, let me not touch it. I'll fail, right? That's what we think. This is too big, I can't do it, so let's just not actually touch it so that it doesn't hurt us. And that's why we start compromising on our big dreams. And all that happens because of the mindset that we carry about ourselves. All that happens because the beliefs that are formed in our life, it is happening because of that. So when I say mindset, let's talk a little about what exactly mindset is. So it is said that mindset is not what we set our minds on, but actually mindset is how our minds are set. So if we can simplify this a little, What is a mindset? Mindset, it's just a belief that every one of us have about our traits, like how intelligent are we, or how capable are we, or maybe you like something or you do not like something. Your mindset is all about what you believe about yourself and also about the world around you. So it's not just the belief about you, but it is also that you believe this thing in the world is good and that is not good, or this situation is good or that situation is not good. Everything that we believe about ourselves and around, about everything that is happening around us in this world, the thought that we carry, that's our mindset. So when I say mindset is all about our beliefs, there comes another question. And you may ask, what exactly is a belief? How our beliefs are formed, isn't it? So, in simple words, a belief is just a thought. And that just a thought, when you think over and over and over again, until it gets hardwired in your subconscious mind. So, one thought, when you think over and over and over again, and it gets hardwired into your subconscious mind, you start forming belief about it. I'll explain that later in some time why we do that. So, for example, if I say I cannot do this, or if I say it's too difficult for me, or maybe I say I can conquer the world, all of them are beliefs that we hold, that we speak every minute about ourselves or about the world. So let's understand this belief a little bit. A very common example. Now, I've taken an example which majorly all of us relate to, and that is about weight loss. So let's talk about this example where there are two boys and they do both want to lose weight, all right? And now what they do is, when you want to lose weight, you start exercising. So now these two boys, they join the gym. The first boy, and then they start exercising and gymming for a month. After 1 month is over, the first boy goes and he goes and checks his weight after 1 month, and he sees on the weighing scale that there is no progress. So when he sees that there is no shift, he has not lost weight, a thought comes to his mind. And the thought is, I cannot do it. So what happens is, a thought came, I cannot do it, and he gets discouraged. And then every day he comes to gym. He is still not given up. Every day he comes to the gym, and every alternate day he again checks the weight. No change. The another second time when he checked, again there is no change. So what happens is, again the same first thought came. Again, see, I told you, you can't do it. It's not for you. This gymming thing is not for you, right? Then after 2 days, the boy again checks the weight, and then there is no change. This thought comes again. All these are supportive negative thoughts, gives him a reason to believe that he cannot do it. He will not be able to lose weight, and that is why this boy number one quits gymming and compromises to stay unhealthy. All right. Now the second boy also does gymming for 1 month. After 1 month, he checks the weighing scale and he says there is no progress. With the exercise that he's doing, he sees there is no progress, and a thought comes. How is it possible? I'm putting in a lot of effort. I think I can do it. I'll have to work on my exercise plan and my diet plan. So what he does, he changes his workout, changes his diet plan, and then again keep exercising. And then after 1 week, he checks his weight, and he sees that there is very minimal decrease in his weight. The thought which came first, that it is not possible, I can do it, comes again. See, I told you, you can do it. When that thought again comes, he wants to put in more and more effort. And every time that positive thought comes, his belief in him making it happen for himself gets reconfirmed. And then it becomes a belief. He creates a possibility in his life. So the situation was the same. It was just one single thought which attacked our mind, and the realities and the results change. Our belief is formed when any of our thoughts get confirmed through our experiences. So what do we look? When we look at this example, it becomes clear to us that how the thought, one single thought, played a major role in deciding the two boys' journey towards their success and fitness. So now we have discussed about what is mindset, how exactly our beliefs are formed, right? But let's also understand one thing. Why exactly is having the right mindset so very important for achieving success and fulfillment? Why? Why do we have to have a right mindset? If at all we have to achieve success like the top 5% in the world, we have to have the right mindset. Let's understand how. We have to understand that our thoughts somehow shape our entire reality of life. We have to understand that our life, you may write down this, that our life is a physical manifestation of every single thought that we think in our head. And that is why having the right mindset is not just important for learning new skills, but having the right mindset is going to affect the way we think about ourselves and about everything. And whatever you think, scientifically it is proven that whatever you think directly influences how you feel. So if you go to a mall and you look at a beautiful dress or you look at an amazing gadget and you feel good about it, right? The responses, the actions are going to be different. But if you don't feel great about it, the responses are going to be different. So what you think, it is going to directly influence how you feel, and then that feeling will convert into your action or your behavior. So whatever I'm saying, if it sounds technical, let's pick up one example. So many of us have been awkward to go to social gatherings. I had been most of my life. So let's take my example, or anybody in that case. Say, suppose that person will say, I'm not really that good when it comes to socializing. Maybe that person is saying that and he believes that he's not too good in socializing. So his friends come and they call him for a party, for a social gathering. What will that person do? He will go because it's an obligation, friends have called, right? So that person will go to the social gathering, but what will he do? He will go and stand in the corner by himself. Majorly, in gatherings, people are around the center of the stage or in the center of the room or the place. But the person who thinks that he's awkward, he will go, but he will involuntarily go and stand in the corner of the room. Now everybody is in the center, he's in the corner, and nobody is going to come and speak to him. So when no one will come and speak to him, what will happen? The thought will come again. I told you, you are socially awkward. This party and gathering is not for you, right? But then that person is going to ignore it and be there and then leave. And then again, similar instances happen. And every time he goes and stands in the corner of the room, and the thought knocks his thinking and says, I told you, and I told you, and I told you. Isn't it? That happens. So much so that after some time, you start believing that you're not good at socializing. And because our thoughts control our entire life, every thought that we have creates an action, which will in turn create a consequence. So this person who believes that he is socially awkward, what will he do? He will stop going to parties. He will stop socializing. That's an action. And what is going to be the consequence? He will become lonely, or he will feel left out, having no social circle. Can you see? And then that person will be called an introvert. And he lived with that all his life. We have seen a lot of people who say we are introvert, we're introvert. It is because they have not explored the extrovertness. It is because they are influenced of a thought which took over. They're thinking and they believe it is correct. There are a lot of things in our life that are beyond our control. But you do have control over how you react to whatever happens in your life. Because when something happens in your life, there are thousands of thoughts that cross our mind. Which one you want to pick up and how you want to react or respond to it, it depends entirely on you. We can't change the pandemic, but how do we deal with it is up to us. And your that very reaction is totally dependent on the mindset that you carry about yourself, about the world. So what I'm saying, you can have a disempowering mindset, and so you will choose to be always living with a feeling of not enough, isn't it? Or on the other hand, you can choose to have a mindset which is all the time looking for possibilities. And so, on this way of looking for possibilities, you will be seeing more opportunities. And that is why you will create success in every aspect of your life. It all depends on us. It all depends on the mindset we choose to carry. As soon as you move and start getting independent, picking up a course which is going to shape your career, you are slowly getting independent, and that is the time you need to rewire your thinking if it is not serving you at that age to fulfill your dream. Now, one more very important point to note here is exactly why am I emphasizing for focusing on your mindset is very important for youth. Why am I saying that youth should? Why am I coming here at YUCI and saying that youth should work on their mindset? It is very, very important. That is because scientifically, up until you are 25 or 30 years, the neural pathways in our nervous system, which is in simple language, if we can say, our habits, have gaps in their connections. So if there is a gap, which means change is easy to happen in your life at this age than later, because after 30s, the neurons will develop glia cells which stick the neurons and the neural pathways together. That is why the habits which are going to be formed will be very, very rigidly formed. So we have seen adults, it is difficult for them to change the habits. It is also because their habits are tight and rigidly formed. So it becomes difficult to bring that change. And that is why the emphasis is that if you want to fulfill your dream, you have big dreams, instead of compromising, instead of giving up because you think you're incapable, start rewiring your mindset. Start learning to control your mind rather than the mind controlling you. Because that is why the emphasis is so much on adapting mindset shift. And I suggest using mindfulness and neuro-linguistic programming and these techniques because they teach you how the language of the mind works, how exactly you have to come out of that trap of your habit. You have to come out of autopilot mode because 90% of the time we function on autopilot. It's our old habits that take over and they dictate all that we do in our life. So, this is the reason why we have to take care of the mindset that we are carrying when we are approaching our goals. We have to ensure that we have the most empowering thinking capabilities and thoughts and beliefs about ourselves so that you can fulfill your dreams and create mastery in that. You don't have to struggle, you just have to create a habit of creating success for yourself. And trust me, I have done this at a much, much later age in my life, but it was still possible. So if you are a youth, it is very, very much possible. It's not just only fortunate people have this capability. Each one of us have it. All we have to do is work on our mindset. All we need to do is take control of those thoughts which say, I'm this and I'm that and I'm not capable and I can't and I can't. So let's talk about few ways today which I can share with you that can help you to develop mastery over our mindset for abundant success and fulfillment. So let's dive into it right now. The first thing that I would suggest you is to take control of your thoughts. As I'm talking about thoughts, as I'm talking about beliefs, you will have to pay close attention on what you are thinking about most of the time in your day-to-day life. Why I'm saying this is because the crazy fact is, on an average, we get around 75,000 thoughts in a day. Is that not crazy? We get around 75,000 thoughts in a day. And what is even more crazier in this is that 91% of these thoughts are repetitive day by day. So what do I mean when I say that it is repetitive? These thoughts are repetitive means that if you get a negative thought today, you're more likely to get the same thought tomorrow and then the same thought day after and after. That's what it means, that your negative thoughts or your positive thoughts, 91% of them are repetitive day after day. And that is why I'm telling you to take control of that thoughts. Imagine if you have positive thoughts, you are creating a chain of positive thinking. And if you're creating a chain of positive thinking every day, then you are focusing on opportunities then lack in your life. The most successful people, they are successful not because they are out of the world or they are unique. They are successful because they are self-aware. How self-aware are we? How self-aware are we about what are we thinking? Is that taking away the great things from our life? The most successful people are successful because they are self-aware. They do not allow their disempowering thoughts to stop them from moving ahead. It does those disempowering. See, what happens is you cannot stop the disempowering thoughts, but you have to be aware to take control of them. So you are not going to be becoming somebody who will always think positive. No. We're human beings. We worry, we stress, all the negative thought comes, but the reaction and response will come positive only when we know how to respond to these thoughts. You will have to closely monitor what you think. So, how can you do this? Simple. Write down, take a day whenever you're free and write down the thoughts that do not serve you. And then eliminate them by replacing them with positive or empowering thoughts. And then keep repeating those empowering thoughts to yourself. I said keep repeating those thoughts. Why repeat? Because our brain filters stimulus and accepts what it feels is important to you. So if a thought is coming and you're repeating it again and again, I'm scared of going and speaking on the stage. I'm scared of going and speaking on the stage. And you repeat this to yourself every time you have to go or an opportunity comes. The brain thinks that this is important information. Brain is trying to keep you safe And so it keeps that information. And next time when an opportunity comes that you have to go and speak on the stage, the brain will give you a thought which is already stored. Don't go. You're scared. You can't do this. Right? So when you repeat similarly empowering thoughts, you eliminate the thoughts which are not serving you and you replace them by empowering thoughts and repeating them. The brain will think, we have to trick the brain, yes. The brain will think that this information now, the empowering one, is important, so it will filter the stimulus and accept it as important. So next time when you are in a crisis situation, that empowering thought is going to give you a push and say, no, let's try. Because I think last time you did it, this time also you can do it. Don't worry, nothing happens, let's try. That is what is going to set the pace for you to keep moving forward. That is going to help you to start making a positive shift in your life. And that is why the first suggestion is to take control of your thoughts. My second suggestion for today is to change your beliefs. How can I change my beliefs? Yes, that's a very big question, right? Another very powerful way of mastering your mind is by changing your beliefs. So let me explain this with a very, very famous story of a world-class runner. If you can Google him right away. His name is Roger Bannister. Who was Roger Bannister? Roger Bannister was the first person to break the 4 minutes in a mile barrier. He was the first person who ran and completed 1 mile in under 4 minutes. And up until then, that time, no person had ever run a mile in under 4 minutes. It was considered as impossible that nobody can run a mile in under 4 minutes. Even the physicians had declared that running this fast it's physiologically not possible. You may strain your heart, or you may get a heart attack, or you may severely damage your body or system. But Roger Bannister was the first person who believed that he can do this. And he actually did it in the year 1954. So, how did he do what seemed impossible for the entire world? How did he do? When even the doctors said it's not possible, nobody thought it is possible, but he did it. He used 2 approaches to get the desired results. What did he do? First, he put his running shoes, on his running shoes, he put a slip of paper which had written 3 minutes 58 seconds on it. So every time when he ran, the piece of paper constantly came in front of his eyes when he was running, and it constantly reminded him of his goal. And this is called the power of visualization. He was visualizing his goals. He was telling, when he was visualizing, his brain was seeing that and receiving it and accepting it, that we have to make it work. The second thing what he did was, he broke his goal into 240 seconds. He broke his goal of 4 minutes into 240 seconds. So what happened was, when he ran and improved by seconds, the goal didn't look too overwhelming for him to achieve, because he was improving by seconds, and every time he was improving by seconds, his belief was getting firm and firm that he can do it. Yes, he can do it. And thus, he did not allow himself to give up. Many a times, we set our goals, but they look too big to accomplish. And so we give up, or we compromise on a very small goal, right? We compromise on the little. But I'm not sharing this part of Roger Bannister's story here. The story does not end here. I want to share what happened after this. What Roger did was truly amazing, right? But what happened after that was beyond any doubt, a miracle. No one else had ever achieved the 4 minute a mile barrier before Roger Bannister. We know that now, right? But within a year, after Roger Bannister completed this, 37 other runners did the same thing. And in the year after that, there were over 300 who ran a mile in less than 4 minutes. How did that happen just after Roger Bannister did it? That means every one of those runners had the potential to run that fast, isn't it? But it was only until their limiting belief that, oh, this is not possible. The doctors have declared that means it's not possible. If everybody is saying it's not possible, it was only until their limiting belief that it is not possible was challenged that they started fulfilling this goal. And that is, my listeners, exactly what is possible with each one of us, every one of us. All you have to do is write down some of your limiting beliefs. Like for me, it was I can't paint, or I'm too scared to speak on the stage. And think to yourself, is this belief really true? Where did this belief come from? Find out. Was it in your past experience that it made you feel you can't do it and you accepted it as a fact? You have to write down some of the limiting beliefs that you think to yourself they are not, that you're not capable of. Make an empowering belief for every disempowering belief and then make a plan to achieve it. Just like Roger Bannister did, all of us can do that. It is only and only when we will believe that we begin to tap into our true potential. Till the time there is a I can't, it is difficult. Till the time you say you can't, it looks very difficult. But when you start saying, let's try, maybe I can, you will start seeing progress. Make a plan just like Roger Bannister, break your goals into smaller goals and start achieving your goals. Change your disempowering thoughts to empowering ones. Change that belief which is stopping you on this journey when you are at this age and want to make big things, big shift in your life. Because in my case, I made a shift at a very, very late stage. But everybody doesn't have to go the hard way. You know it now. All you have to do is look deeper. What is stopping you? And the third one, which I want to share, the last way of having that right mindset is to make empowering beliefs a habit. What is a habit? We all know, right? We know that anything which is done repeatedly becomes a habit. Just like eating with your dominant hand. So if I'm eating every day with my right hand and say suppose I hurt my finger or I have a hurt in my hand, I try to eat with my left. It feels uncomfortable because I'm not habitual. Anything that we do repeatedly becomes a habit, right? Just like our body, our mind, which is also a muscle, needs to be worked out always to keep it in the best of our thought patterns. I'll say that again. Our mind, which is a muscle, needs to be worked out just like our body all the time to keep it in the best shape. The best shape is the best thought patterns. Habits will become the chain of your ultimate character. Any thought, when thought repeatedly, becomes a belief. And anything that you keep doing it again and again under the influence of a belief becomes your habit. And habits become the chain of your ultimate character. So if you're feeling like a failure, you have to look what are the behaviors that has to be replaced. If you're feeling that you're not good enough, you have to look at the chain of the beliefs that you're holding that is stopping you. And that's when you will have to condition yourself. Otherwise, you will slowly slip back into disempowering patterns. Many people are not able to make big because they are not able to break these habits. They are not able to make empowering beliefs a habit. Every time when you find yourself getting into a disempowering habit, try to figure out the pattern. Now, when I say pattern, I'll explain that to you. Try to figure out the pattern that makes you indulge into a habit. So, for example, if you're procrastinating, how will it happen? How does the pattern begin? When you're procrastinating, you will start by avoiding to do something over and over again, right? We procrastinate going to the gym. I have done it a lot in my life. We procrastinate, right? How does that pattern start? It starts when you start to avoid doing something over and over again. So if you're overthinking, you will start by asking a lot of questions about that situation. That means you're getting into the habit of overthinking. You have to identify that pattern. When you find yourself getting into your pattern, all you have to do is break that pattern. How do you do? Simply, if you're getting into a pattern of overthinking or any other pattern of procrastination or stress or anger, identify that pattern. When you find yourself getting into that pattern, all you have to do is you will have to immediately break the pattern by just changing your state. State means like if you're sitting, just get up, move 1 or 2 steps forward and backwards, and then get onto the task that you were working on. Now, since I'm sharing this and you may try this, this will not be easy for the first couple of times. Do not give up on it, but keep doing. Why? Because your brain is resisting change. When you do this for a few times, you will notice that now your mind is starting to cooperate and helping you to switch the pattern and break that disempowering habit. Once it's just like when you start going to the gym, the 2 days your body is so sore, right? It hurts, it pains, and you don't want to do it. But the ones who really, really want to lose weight, they keep going. Don't stop because the mind is going to resist, but keep doing it. And in a few days, you will see that it is coming more naturally to you. So work on breaking those patterns, work on making empowering beliefs a habit. When you start taking control of your thoughts, when you start taking charge of your beliefs, when you start breaking those patterns, that's when shift is going to happen. If we have to survive uncertain situations in our life, we have to start building our core very, very strongly. We need to work on the beliefs on which we stand in this world so that if an uncertain situation is hitting you in life, you know how to self-coach yourself and how to get up. And with this, as I close for today, I want to encourage you to pay close attention to the thoughts and the mindsets that are acting as a hindrance in your path of progress. Try to work on them by replacing those disempowering beliefs and thoughts, because that's the most simple science which every successful person uses. There is no rocket science to it. The science, the most simple science which every successful person is using to be better every day is taking charge and being self-aware of what you're thinking. Is that creating a hindrance or is it creating success and empowerment for you? When you do this, you will also get used to creating mastery in success. So, to all my listeners, I want to wish you all the very best for all your endeavors. Thank you so much for joining in, and it's been my pleasure to be here. Thank you, Pallavi.
You're welcome, ma'am. I'm going impromptu right now. Sorry if I'm extending your time limit. Well, I am a CS aspirant, and I'm also a law student. So managing both the professional courses has been a very difficult thing for me. And clarity to chaos, and chaos to clarity. That's how life should be. And if I train my mind enough, I guess everything is going to be a cakewalk to me. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for enlightening us with your insightful and thought provoking speech. On behalf of YUCI, I extend my warm greetings to the people in the gathering. I would express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution to make this webinar a great success. I extend my gratitude to our honorable chief guest, Ms. Esther Indurkar, for taking out the time from her busy schedule to grace the event. Thank you for inspiring and encouraging us with your words, ma'am. I extend my gratitude to the organizing team, volunteers for working hard for the past few days to make this webinar successful. I thank all the participants for their active participation. Thank you, everyone, once again for making it a great success. Thank you, ma'am. A very good evening to everyone.
Recording stopped.